Hi, and welcome to CCSD News and Review. I'm Diane Harmon.
And I'm Brendan Lowe. We start off today with the Castle on the Hill and a significant step forward in restoring its former glory. After years of stalled plans, Superintendent Rahanafard joined students, staff, and alumni, as well as Governor Christie and Mayor Red, to announce more than $50 million in state funding. The money will go to a multi-year transformation of Camden High School, resulting in 4 new small learning communities, but preserving Camden High as a district-run high school. Superintendent Rahanafard spoke about the different learning communities.
Our plan is for the new Camden High to have 4 independent learning communities, each with a unique theme and a direct link to college or career opportunities here in Camden. We have incredible assets here, from our medical institutions to our universities to new industries such as Holtec. And with this revitalized facility, we'll have the ability to connect our students directly to those resources and opportunities.
After meeting with students and making the formal announcement, Superintendent Rahanafard and Principal James Thompson talked about the impact this change could have on the high.
Well, what we deeply believe in is that students should have a choice of going into a 2- or 4-year college program or immediately joining the workforce. And so the benefit will be that they'll have that meaningful choice, because right now too few of our students aren't graduating from high school, and even the ones that are don't have meaningful job employment opportunities and aren't enrolling in college.
I think that something like this is going to really allow us to do some things and put some things in place that will, bring it back up to being either with or ahead of the times, and giving our students something that they can be proud of.
The school district celebrates Hispanic Heritage Month each November, and this year schools had festive celebrations that featured student performances. Forest Hill School students presented a mix of music, song, and dance. And at the Kroc Center, they hosted the Camden City School District for its annual celebration, featuring students from Molina School and remarks from notable Latinos.
But it's important that we all come together and share our cultures. You're as strong as who you are by knowing what your past is and where you come from. And the importance of us, we're a big melting pot here in the city of Camden. And Latinos are such as well. There's an influence from all over the world in our culture. That's why you see blonde hair, you see some that are bald. You see beautiful ones, you see light skin, you see dark skin, because we are truly, truly a melting pot of what this world is.
November was also a time for lots of family involvement. Following the release of state test scores, district officials teamed up with principals to hold more than a dozen discussions at schools across the city. The conversations focused on understanding how each school was serving its students and what its plans for improvement were moving forward. Parents also flocked to schools last month for parent-teacher conferences, which featured hundreds of parents sitting down with their children's teachers to learn more about what students are learning this year and how they are doing so far. Parents who missed these opportunities and are interested in catching up with their child's teacher should contact their school's community school coordinator.
On the eve of Thanksgiving, hundreds of families gathered at Bonsall Family School to celebrate the upcoming holiday. Staff from Aramark, the district's food provider, served nearly 200 meals to families and volunteers, and they also gave out more than 600 meals for families to take home. What a way to welcome the holiday.
I will pass that test, it's my responsibility.
One last item in school news, and it's deeply unfortunate. Principal Lisa Thomas passed away last month. Superintendent Rahana Fard shared the news at November's board meeting.
I want to kick things off with some sad and unfortunate news. We are mourning the loss of Miss Lisa Thomas. She was the principal of Woodrow Wilson last year and was assigned as the principal of Bonsall this year. She has been suffering from an illness for quite some time and passed away yesterday. She's certainly impacted the lives of hundreds, thousands of students, and began her career as a teacher, taught in Philadelphia for about 10 years, became an assistant principal, and has certainly been serving here in Camden for a number of years. And again, she's impacted so many students' lives, and she was just an incredibly caring, thoughtful person if you had the chance to get to know Miss Thomas.
Bonsall is now being led by interim principal LaTanya Bradley.
In city news, as part of her commitment to improving public safety and the quality of life for Camden residents, Mayor Dana Redd announced that the City of Camden received 6 bids for Phase 1 of its demolition project, which will take down 62 abandoned and unsafe buildings in the Whitman Park and Kramer Hill neighborhoods.
The city's planning board has unanimously approved plans for a waterfront complex for the Philadelphia 76ers. The practice complex at Delaware Avenue and Martin Luther King Boulevard will hold a 130,000 square foot office building and practice facility. The office building will be topped with a 4,000 square foot sign featuring letters up to 9 feet high. The complex is expected to be completed in early 2016.
Assemblyman Angel Fuentes was recognized by the most influential Latinos Foundation, Impacto Latin newspaper, and PHL Diversity at their 2014 Delaware Valley's Most Influential Latinos Award ceremony. The Most Influential Latinos Foundation prides itself in recognizing the accomplishments of outstanding Latinos from across the region.
Boxing legend Bernard Hopkins partnered with Price Right to help spread holiday cheer this Thanksgiving with a donation of 500 turkeys to local residents.
Nationally recognized for fostering confidence and achievement in young ladies, the Girl Scouts are out and about and looking for new members. We stopped in to visit a local troop here in Camden that meets regularly at Sumner Elementary School.
Girl Scouts' mission is to build girls of courage, confidence, and character, and we help girls find those skills for themselves on their own terms. So really one of the most wonderful things about Girl Scouting is that the program is very individual for girls. It offers opportunities for them to experience things, whether it be travel or outdoor experience, that they wouldn't get in the regular run-of-the-mill activities. And Girl Scouts is also a proven leadership model. So there are women all across the country who at one point in their childhood have been Girl Scouts, and the research shows that it's made a huge difference in terms of how they live their lives. The Camden Girl Scouts is one of our longest, organized bunch of Girl Scouts in our entire regional footprint, which is really exciting. What I think is remarkable about these girls is that the troop that we're with today is from Brownies, from 3rd grade up to 8th grade. They're working together cooperatively on some really neat projects. It provides a great opportunity for the older girls to actually mentor and engage with some of the younger girls and to lead pieces of the meeting. And I think it's a bright spot for them. I asked a few of them earlier, what do they like about Girl Scouting? And they said it's fun, they've made friends, and many of them have been engaged in Girl Scouting since kindergarten. So they keep coming back, and that means that it must be something really, really special.
We currently have 9 troops in Camden. We have 3 located in schools or public schools or charter schools, and we have troops meeting at the Ferry Avenue Library. We're in need of more volunteers so that we can offer more scouting programs in the various areas of the city. You can go to our Girl Scout website, www.gscsnj.org, click on volunteer, or you can even call me at 609-560-1511. And I tell you right now, we're looking for volunteers. The amount of time that you want to give is entirely up to you. Perhaps you have a special area such as arts and crafts or technology, science, math, and you want to share that with the girls. We'd love to have you come on board. Just recently, one of my former Girl Scouts came back as a volunteer with her daughter. That is so rewarding.
And now it's time for sports.
After a 9-0 record in the regular season and a record-setting effort by quarterback Khalil Williams, the Camden High Panthers football team entered the South Jersey playoffs as the #1 seed. A pregame pep rally at Camden High School got the team revved up in advance of the Friday game against Collingswood. And the highlights ended there. In frigid weather, Collingswood came out and ran all over the Panther defense, rushing out to a 12-0 first quarter lead. Sparked by a second-half rushing touchdown by junior Brad Hawkins, Camden looked poised for a comeback. But a fourth-quarter interception by Khalil Williams ended Camden's chances and its playoff run.
For the Panthers, it was on to the Turkey Bowl against the Tigers from Woodrow Wilson. Thanks to 3 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown from Khalil Williams, Camden High jolted out to a 41-6 halftime lead in front of their home crowd. Woodrow Wilson outscored the Panthers 14-0 in the second half, but the Panthers ended up the victors on Thanksgiving by the score of 41-20.
Now it's time for this episode's Principal Profile. Our featured school leader is Keith Miles, who is leading dramatic improvements at Woodrow Wilson High School. We recently sat down with Principal Miles to talk about the changes he's leading at the school and what reactions he's receiving from students and families.
So Keith Miles, I'm the principal at Woodrow Wilson High School. So I started in July, so just about 4 months on the job so far. I got the opportunity in July. Summer school was in session when I got started. So I got the opportunity to visit all the summer school classes and greet the kids and interact with them a little bit and discuss what some of the challenges would be as their new principal. And so, you know, students talked about culture, they talked about cell phones. They actually had cell phones during summer school. Some students were listening to music during the lesson. So that kind of just jumped out immediately. We really have to target our technology and make sure our technology is on-task technology. We have to make sure that while our teachers are teaching, our students are ready to receive the information. So, you know, I really wanted to come in and establish an environment and a culture where students can learn and teachers can teach. And I think, you know, the students in their own way, they agree that there's lots of distractions in large comprehensive high schools. You know, there are lots of competing factors, like things that students could be doing other than being in class. And so really wanted to set up an environment, and the beginning of the year is the perfect time where you get the most compliance from students. Students are open to the new year. They're excited to start the year off. So really wanted to put some systems in place that would sustain us through the year. The first system is that we ask students to leave their technology at home. It's a huge inconvenience for families. We knew that we would come up against some families who would kind of be strongly against the cell phone policy, but we also knew that this was a huge lever, and that if we were successful with it, which I had no doubt that we could be successful, the success of it is just leaving it at home. So it's the zero tolerance policy that you know we instituted. And so kids come in, they're being searched for drugs, they're being searched for weapons, and other things that shouldn't be brought into the school. Cell phones have been added to that list for us at Woodrow Wilson. And so first week of school, we tagged those phones. We gave them back to the kids at the end of the school day, had them sign a contract that they understood the policy and that they would leave the phones at home, and their parent would have to come in if they brought the phone back again. So that gave me the opportunity as the new principal to really interact with parents. Parents came in, I mean, my first week, from 4 to 6, it's just back-to-back conferences. I got to sit down, explain the new policy to parents, got parents to sign off that they understood that we're a no cell phone school, and that if their kids brought the phones again, that we would keep the phone for 60 days. And I had the Camden City Public Schools cell phone policy to back me there. And so parents signed off as well. And instantly, you know, our teachers saw a huge difference in the amount of engagement and the amount of learning that was taking place in the classrooms. Students, they left the phones at home. I mean, after, you know, that first time getting the phone taken, and then, you know, the second time their parent having to come in, and for some students, you know, the phone stayed a couple days. And so being without their technology, for those days kind of was an eye-opener for students, and they began to leave their phones at home. You know, we also got an influx of computer technology here in the building. You know, we were able to add 7 mobile labs to the building, and you know, those were promised this summer, and I used those as well to let parents know that you know, we had about 3 labs here at Wilson prior to the school year, that we would be really putting technology in the students' hands. Our vision here is that our students are technology savvy. They're able to compete globally. So technology, to me, is very important. So, and in one sense, I'm taking away technology from students, but you know, I also looked at the other side, which is that we're putting approved on-task technology in students' hands. So, you know, there's opportunities for students still to utilize technology, to learn with, you know, the most cutting-edge techniques and strategies. You know, we're moving into an era now with colleges where they're part face-to-face and part online. So we're looking to, you know, continue in that direction, continue to add on the technology, you know, year to year, and just to continue to make our program look more like what students will see when they go to college. I started off really distracted. I'm from a single parent household, and so all of those distractions from the community, drugs, sex, all of those things, you know, were a part of my upbringing. I got into a competitive program when I was in 8th grade. I tested into a high school that was a competitive high school in the DC area, and realized that I had skills, and I brought those skills to the table. Before that, I was so distracted by all the other things going on, I didn't realize that I was, you know, bright even. And so when I came to that program, I was able to compete with students who went to better schools and had better, you know, upbringings. And it just pushed me. I mean, I was excited by the challenge of being with or next to or learning among, you know, some of the brightest students in the area, and peer pressure, positive peer pressure, kind of took a hold of me as a 9th grader. In my 4 years of high school, you know, included AP courses. I played music in high school. Really got involved and really pushed myself. Was an AB student, and so a good student, but I know the other side too, and I kind of understand how you can be distracted by all the things that are going on outside of the school, and how you have to just focus, and when you really want something and you're determined to achieve and reach your goals, how you have to buckle down, you got to study. You know, my mother used to have to say, you know, go to sleep instead of staying up studying for that AP course, or writing papers and things like that. So I eventually became the student that overdid it. I was majoring in biology, and then I picked up the Spanish minor. And then when I got close to graduation, I actually was just a few courses short of a double major. So I ended up double majoring in biology and Spanish literature. But being able to master a language was a challenge, and I took it on, and I really wanted to work at it and continue to work at it until I mastered it. Still haven't mastered Spanish. I mean, I get to speak with my students in Spanish, and you know, their eyes light up when they recognize that I can speak Spanish, and it really helps me with building relationships as well, because you know, I'm interested in my students' culture, and I know a lot about Spanish culture, and I can bring that to the table and really use that as a conversation piece and a relationship builder with the kids. I want the best for my kids. I want my kids to go to a school that is competitive, a school that's like any other school across the country, and to get a really quality education. So a principle of mine is to really, you know, speak positivity throughout the day, and hold students accountable, and never say what our kids can't do, what our school won't do, but to really focus on the successes that we're achieving and just building on those.
Ronald Torres graduated from Creative Arts Morgan Village Academy in this spring. He was also honored by the school district for overcoming adversity and by the Camden Schools Foundation for his accomplishments. But as Ronald shared in his Express Yourself segment, he wasn't always on such a successful path, not until he found music.
Express yourself.
My name is Ronald Torres. I graduated from Creative Arts Morgan Village Academy.
and now I'm attending South Carolina State University. Music is a way of life. It's a way to express yourself without saying words, you know, because sometimes people don't know how to say it, and I rather just show it. So I show it through music, you know. It may not even just be playing; it's just being involved in music. You know, my major is music industry, and in that major, you know, it's a lot of networking. You know, it's not really playing your horn. It's all about just networking with musicians and, you know, helping people out. And that's why I say, you know, there's other ways to give back. You don't have to just go to college and just show people that, yeah, I've made it to college. What about after college? So, you know, I want to come back, help, you know, probably, you know, work on building a project here in Camden, you know, and just because there's a lot of talent here and it just needs to, you know, it has to be shown. So I want to help. A lot of people stress about not having enough money to go to college, not being smart enough. But it's not about that. You just got to have the drive. Because good things will come to you if you wait. And that's what happened to me. I just want to say thank you, Mr. Dickerson, Mr. Jamal and Nasir Dickerson, Mr. Sabri, Mr. Devon, who he passed a while ago. They've all taught me a lesson, and basically the lesson is just believe. Just believe in yourself. And that's all you have to do. You know, brush off the people who's pulling you down and keep the people who's keeping you up, you know.
Express yourself.
Staying with our alumni for a minute, Samantha and Susanna Colazzo have traded the uniform of their alma mater, Brim Medical Arts High School, for a different uniform, a doctor's white coat. As a recent Philadelphia Inquirer article shared, this fall the Colazzo twins became the first Camden residents to attend Cooper Medical School of Rowan University. But as the sisters shared in this episode's guest interview, they still prioritize going back to Brim to talk to current students about careers in medicine.
Coming back to Brim was a goal of ours for a very long time, actually since we left. We knew we were headed in the right track, and we wanted to make sure that students that were in our shoes can also be aware that they can follow their dreams. We went to Brim Medical Arts High School, and we loved it. We spent 4 years here, and the school definitely prepared us for our dreams of becoming physicians. So they helped us get into medical school, and it's only right to come back and try to help other students. And the students are amazing, and once you just crack their shell a little bit, they have fun with you and they trust you. So the important part is to just build all of the students' trust.
So we did a lot to maintain active here at Brim. Our days were always busy. We tried to get as much studying as possible, but we did a lot of extracurricular activities. We did science fair. We did it for a few years, won a few prizes with the help of Dr. Fine and Dr. Lewis, and we were part of the student council. So I was president for the class of 2009 in my junior year, and she was vice president for her senior year, so we were active that way. But we also did a lot of volunteering. With the help of Ms. Hines Cooper, we gave for Christmas. We put together Christmas gifts for families. We put together baskets for Thanksgiving. We painted murals around the school for students, and we also were part of a local church and did a lot of volunteer that way.
So while you're at Medical Arts, since the school is so small, it's easy to become involved, and it's like a family here. So we were able to just round up a group of students and do activities here, assemblies. We organized dances, and the best part was that we all did everything together, and academically we all wanted to succeed. So our class was great at that. We all were pretty much part of the National Honor Society. Well, there were many of us that were nominated together our senior year. So being a part of the National Honor Society too, and getting recognized for your academic achievements was also a great motivator for all of us. My mom, she's actually a custodian for Morgan Village Creative Arts Academy. She's been there for a really long time, and my father's been working for the board or for the school system a little longer now. He's a maintenance mechanic, and he goes around to different schools and just fixes whatever problems they have. Just because they've been involved in the school system, they know how much potential all of the students have, and they knew how much potential me and Susanna had. And they always encourage us to just reach for the stars and follow our dreams. And even if we don't believe in ourselves, they would always encourage us to, give it a try. And they've been supportive along the way. So without them, I'm pretty sure we would not be here at where we are right now.
Our parents have always raised us to be independent and to keep going even when times get very tough. So just in case, we didn't get into medical school, my mom and our older sister, who also works for the Board of Education, they encouraged us to teach science if as our backup, and we did. So we got certified in bio, we took our practice exams and passed, and we had our backup plan all set with the Board of Education here in Camden to teach biology to high school students. But a few weeks later, we got the phone call that we got accepted into medical school, and things changed. So I think that from all the exposure here at Brim, we definitely knew we wanted to be in the medical field. Being physicians wasn't something that came to us until maybe about the junior year of our undergrad in Rutgers, New Brunswick. And it wasn't so much that we didn't know that a physician existed. It was more that we didn't know how to do it, and we didn't know we could. We didn't think it was possible at the time, but the interest in medicine came from all the science classes here. We had a great science background, and we were good at it, which is not something that's favorable for a lot of people. Not everyone loves science. But by getting involved in the science fair projects and watching different types of health professionals come to Brim and just seeing what they were doing, it made us really interested in what they were doing. We wanted to see a little bit more. So when we went to undergrad in New Brunswick, we decided that we wanted to do a major in X-ray science to keep pursuing that field. And then we found help along the way that kind of got us interested in actually becoming physicians, and here we are.
Basically, if I can just say one thing to all the students across, at Brim, I would say take advantage of all the teachers that you have. This is a scientifically created school, so every edge of the school was made for the students. Take advantage of it, listen to the teachers, follow the steps that other students have taken to get into college, or any other graduate program, any undergrad program. Definitely just to listen to the teachers. And also for the school district, I just want all the students to know that it's not about what you see, it's not about what you think you can do. It's really about just following your dreams and just going for it. Even if you haven't seen it before, or even if you don't know anyone that is what you want to do, just go for it, and you could definitely make it happen.
And I would mention to them to just don't give up. There's going to be a lot of obstacles along the way. There's going to be struggles. There's going to be times where you think this is impossible. But with the right mindset and with all these mentors that are around you, you could do anything.
And that's all the news for this episode.
Feel free to send us tips for our next broadcast by emailing us at communications@camden.k12.nj.us. You can also like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and watch us on YouTube.
On behalf of Superintendent Rohanna Fard, the Camden City School District, and everyone here at CCSD-TV News and Review, we'd like to wish everyone a happy holiday.